Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
For this is what the Sovereign Lord says.
Why do you need prophets to tell people who you are and what you want?
If you can justify everything that the God of the Bible has done, then you can justify any of your behavior.
A lot of this mentality is trickling into what is now mainstream right-wing Christianity.
I am capable of empathy greater than this God of the Bible.
This is a Bible that they tell kids. This is the good Lord. This is the good book. He is fantasizing about murder, mass murder.
Head over to sacrilegiousdiscourse.com right now to find out how to leave us a review or support us on Patreon.
Hey there, sinners and saints. It's your favorite Bible-bashing duo from Sacrilegious Discourse, and we need your help.
That's right, folks. We're raising funds for some heavenly equipment and a studio that doesn't sound like it's in the depths of hell.
Our current setup, let's just say it's more apocalypse than audiophile.
So if you want to hear us dissect the Bible without the background noise of demonic squirrels, chip in a few bucks.
We're aiming for $5,000 to upgrade our audio and build a studio worthy of blasphemous banter.
Donate today and help us spread the good word of atheism.
You can find a link right on our homepage, sacrilegiousdiscourse.com. Every dollar counts.
Even if it's from your collection plate. Husband!
Wife!
Guess what we're doing today?
Well, we're starting a new book.
We sure as fuck are.
Yeah, we just finished Hosea, which means that today we're getting into...
Not Hosehead, but Joel.
All right, do you have some information before we hop into the episode?
Yeah, there's only 3 chapters, and I'm super excited because that's going to be just another one we finish real quick.
Yeah, so this is the 29th book of the Bible.
Okay.
And I believe we're... are you giving us a summary now or when we get into the episode?
When we get into the episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you ready to do this?
Yes, I am.
Let's do it.
Okie dokie. All right, before we start the book of Joel,
Yeah.
I thought we would be like, what's a book of Joel?
What the fuck is it?
Yeah, like...
Is it a Jeff? Is it a John? Is it a...
I couldn't remember what it was called, and you said Jeff, and like that's stuck in my brain, and forever after, this is the book of Jeff. I just can't, because that is too fucking funny.
Book of Joel.
Book of Joel, but Jeff. Or if you want to be real fancy, Geoff.
Right, yeah.
We knew a Geoff once.
The spelling was Geoff.
Yeah. Like, what is that, like German or something?
I don't know.
One of those.
But it threw me
European
off.
countries.
I hadn't seen it spelled like that until we worked together at the bookstore.
Yeah, at Borders.
Yeah.
Yep. He was one of the music department manager guys.
He was.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Geoff worked over in music. Yes, he did.
Got it.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So who is Joel? Let's answer that question.
Okay. Yeah.
Today we meet Joel.
All right.
An Old Testament prophet who kind of appears out of nowhere. Like, yeah.
Dang.
Like he just like runs in the room, says some things, and then runs out.
Joel here. And now I'm out. Mic drop.
Yep.
Okay.
I actually have a mic drop later.
Do you?
Literally.
Oh,
yeah, in this intro.
Okay.
Yeah. He drops some heavy warnings and then vanishes back into obscurity. Okay.
Okay.
His name means the Lord is God or Jehovah is God or something is God. Very God.
Sure.
Okay?
God. Got it.
But other than that, nobody seems to know much about him because, like I
He's
said,
Joel or Jeff or
he
John,
just runs in the room and he's like, "You guys suck. Peace out." Except that he was the son of some guy named Pethuel, which doesn't tell us much, except that Pethuel must be very proud. My dude did not leave a paper trail, but scholars guess he was from Judah since he never bothered to mention Israel.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So,
yeah.
I guess. We don't know much about him, like I said.
Yeah.
Okay. He wasn't one of those temple prophets with fancy titles.
Not one of those guys.
Not one of those guys. Yeah. He was a sandwich board wearing motherfucker. He was more like a street prophet. See?
Okay. Yeah.
Warning everyone about impending doom.
I mean, that's not unsimilar to what other prophets do.
Right.
But...
Mainly, he made proclamations that an ancient apocalypse was coming via a massive locust invasion.
Ooh, locusts.
Yeah, and that's like a big deal in these 3 chapters, okay? So let's segue into who's Joel, and let's talk about bugs, baby. All right? That's my next section, okay?
All right, yeah.
This bug invasion was seen as God's judgment, and Joel jumped on the chance to tell the people of Judah to repent!
Oh.
But without naming any particular sins.
Right, because why would you?
Right.
Yeah.
Specifics. Get the fuck out of here.
Whatever. You just suck. God's going to kill you.
Yeah. Depending upon whom you ask, the locusts were either literal bugs or metaphors for Israel's enemies.
Right.
Most modern interpreters, however, are like, why not both?
Why not both?
Yeah.
Okay.
They see Joel speaking of a literal locust plague given a prophetic and apocalyptic interpretation. So kind of like the Gomer thing was like the opposite way.
Sure.
Right? Like we're going to talk about a pretend dude marrying Gomer who represents the whoredom of Israel. And there may or may not have been a Hosea who married a whore named Gomer.
Well, there was a Hosea from what we understand historically.
Right.
What we understand historically.
But this is the opposite. There really was a locust thing, but let's talk about it as, metaphor.
Wait, there was a locust
There
thing?
were always locust things. Because
but not like killed everybody type locust things.
No. These were swampy lands that they got waterlogged and then drought. Waterlogged and then drought. So there was always a season of fucking locusts that were eating all their fields. Like, it's just geology, dudes.
Okay.
All
right.
So we can't even use the fact that there was like a plague of locusts as any kind of particular, this happened during that time period.
Got it.
Okay.
So,
all right. Let's talk about the book. The book itself. The book of Joel.
Book. Yeah.
The Joel book. Jeff. The original text was written in Hebrew. Okay. So that should tell us something, but it doesn't.
Right.
Authorship is traditionally ascribed to Joel, but this was challenged in the late 19th and early 20th centuries.
Well, I don't know how you can not know who the motherfucker is and say that he wrote it.
Right.
How do you say, we don't know anything about this guy? There's nothing to attribute to him anywhere else.
But
other
I'm
than
sure
these three
he wrote,
things. But we're sure he wrote it.
I'm sure he wrote it. Yeah.
That totally makes sense.
Yeah, but in the 18 and 1900s, they were like, hold your tits. I don't think so.
Right.
Maybe not.
I mean, just based on what I know of it already, I
said hold your tits, but that was like a combining of hold my beer and calm your tits.
You do that quite often.
I do.
And you do it so often that I'm just like, yeah, that
makes total sense. So, yeah. But it's always the funniest when I'm like, wait, what I just said makes no fucking sense. Yeah, so hold your tits is not the thing, but that is what I'm going to stick with. If you want to
do it, you just do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So these guys in the 18 and 1900s were like, hold your tits, scholars. I don't think that's what happened.
Got it.
I don't think Jeff actually wrote this book.
Okay,
Joel.
Yeah.
Scholars have suggested that the first chapter was actually from the hand of Joel and dealt with a contemporary issue, the locusts.
Okay.
While parts of the second chapter have been ascribed to a continuator.
A continuator.
A continuator.
Okay.
Somebody who continued.
Someone continued. Joel.
Yeah.
That's the guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's who wrote it.
With a more apocalyptic outlook. So chapter 2 is apparently going to pick up the pace.
They're like, hey, look at this shit that's about the locusts here. We could use this, guys.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then mentions in the first half of the book to, quote, the day of the Lord, as opposed to the day of the Time Lords. That's the name of an episode of
was
Doctor
it?
Who.
Okay.
Yeah. The day of the Time Lord.
Got it.
The day of the Doctor. That's what it is.
Oh,
it's called the Day of the Doctor, but this is the Day of the Lord.
Okay.
So there's a mention of that in the first half of the book of Joel, the Day of the Lord. Who. The Day of the Lord. Okay.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk more about the Day of the Lord in a minute. No, they did not talk about Doctor Who.
Yeah.
They talked about the Day of the Lord. Okay. And we're going to talk about that more in a minute. They were also ascribed to the continuator, not to Jeff Joel. Okay.
So Joel probably didn't write that. Okay.
That's what we're saying, maybe. Okay. And the final chapter might have been written even later than that. So 3 different chapters, 3 different authors, maybe.
Got it. So
or the same author.
So it could be Joel, Jeff, and John.
I did not see that coming. That is so stupid. All right, continuing on.
Yeah.
Of course, details of exact ascriptions have greatly differed between scholars. You don't say.
Right, yeah.
Part of this is because nobody knows exactly when the book was written.
Right.
Which, that's what I said.
Sure.
But scholars guess sometime between the 9th and 4th centuries BCE. Just a casual 600-year window, because why narrow it down?
Right, yeah.
Okay.
I would expect like 100 or 200 years, but you're like whatever. It's sometime in that millennia,
right?
Somewhere.
Somebody wrote it.
Yeah,
that's all we know.
It was words.
Literally, we know that it was Hebrew and somebody wrote it.
These are literal words here.
Yep.
They are words
in Hebrew,
and they're in the Bible
in Hebrew.
And they were written originally in Hebrew.
Mm-hmm.
Probably. Most likely.
Right. Some commentators attach no great importance to the precise dating of the book, which seems a bit irresponsible in my opinion.
Why would you care about dates?
Well,
shit. It's the word of God, right?
So there was one apologist that said, since nobody in this book made great attention to that detail, we should respect that.
Oh, Jesus.
I was like, fuck the fuck off. Get out of here with that nonsense.
The generalizations that are made as an apology for shit that is not correct in the Bible.
Yeah.
They're so they're
absurd. They're over the top. They're beyond believable. They're so laughable.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't tell us, so we just shouldn't fucking worry about it.
No, that's always the answer, right? Like, it's God's word, so why would we question it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because
I accept it as
because
is.
I don't accept it that God exists, let alone that His word exists.
Right, exactly.
That's why we should question it, because you guys are basing your fucking laws that you're trying to implement on me and my wife and my kid based on this fucking book. And yes, I am going to question it. And
you're telling me, oh, you should just believe it, though.
No.
Okay, but prove it. Oh, this doesn't have any information for us.
Wait, you forgot the next step. Well, you prove that God doesn't exist.
Yeah. Oh, I hate that. Like,
I'm like, guys,
that's not how logic works, bro.
No, there's lots of things I don't believe exist, and I don't have to disprove the non-proof of those. Right. Why would it be any different with God? You prove God, and then I'll either go along with it or try to disprove it. But you got to prove them first.
Yeah. Yeah, like
that's how this works.
You're the one making the great claim,
right?
Not me.
No.
All I'm doing is sitting over here, and you're like, "Hey, there's a God, and He says abortion is bad, and that women should serve their husbands, and all kinds of other patriarchal nonsense bullshit." And I'm just sitting over here like, "Wait, you're telling me all these laws right here, but your first sentence was there's a God."
Right.
And so I would like to fight these laws.
Let's back up to the God thing, though.
Yeah. I'm gonna put those laws on hold for the moment, and let's talk about this. No, you prove it. Wait, no, honey, you're the one making laws, sweetheart, darling,
right?
Cutie pie.
Yep.
Little kid, person. All right. Anyway, so they don't know how to prove things.
Right.
Joel dropped references to some classic villains like the Philistines and the Egyptians, but not a peep about the Assyrians or the Babylonians, which supposedly helps date things.
It could somewhat, sort of.
Sure.
But again,
who knows though?
Apparently only within 600 years.
Right. Exactly. Linguistic similarities to other prophets raise the question, was Joel borrowing from them, or were they quoting Joel?
Oh my gosh.
Bum, bum, bum.
Ultimately, we don't know anything about this guy, so why do we care?
I don't know.
Like, it's 3 chapters, literally, right?
Yeah.
So
they're not even long chapters.
The book of Joel, in the grand scheme of things, seems like a non-starter. Just like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah. I'm only reading it.
We're going to read it because it's in there.
Yeah.
But if you guys don't know anything else about this dude,
then stop.
Why does it matter? Why does he matter?
He doesn't.
It's just fucking locusts, right?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Exactly.
Whatever. Like, that's any worse than whatever. It's just the same.
Same old. Either way, there's a whole lot of cross-referencing going on. No definitive answers are forthcoming.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now I have another section called I'm Not Weird, You're Weird.
Okay.
And I will have you know that I wrote the captions for these because I amuse myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, the day of Jehovah, remember I told you that? Or the day of the Lord?
Yes.
And I was like, we'll come back to that in a minute.
Right.
Okay. So that thing is mentioned 5 times in these 3 chapters, just in case you missed it.
Oh, okay. All right.
And it's like God's big showdown with his enemies. And it's often described as right around the corner.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's always right around the corner.
It kicks off with God's glorious arrival for some serious judgment and some peaceful reign set up.
You know, even today, right now, the judgment is right around the corner.
It's right around the corner.
Always right around the corner.
Serious judgment and peaceful reign set up
And
right around the corner.
We're gonna
it's
see.
coming.
We're
it's
gonna
coming.
see. We're gonna see.
You're going to be sorry.
Soon.
It's coming.
Soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just so we're clear, this is not the same as the rapture, you know, Christ's early exit strategy for believers. This is not that, okay?
Yes.
That's a separate event that everyone's still waiting on, like the divine version of the coming soon sign that never gets taken down.
Right. Yeah.
You know, or closeout sale because the store's about to close, but the store never closes, but it's always on sale.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh, here's another oddity. Ready? Mm-hmm. Joel has a twist on the classic beat your swords into plowshares. Do you remember that? Like put down your weapons and turn them into
kind of. Yeah.
sow your land.
I don't
kind of
remember
stuff.
where it was at, but I remember
It was in Isaiah.
Okay.
Okay. So Joel twists that the other way. He flips it, urging people to make weapons instead, because apparently sometimes peace just isn't on the agenda.
Really?
Yeah. He says it exactly backwards.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'll know it when you hear it. Now that I have told you to be on the lookout for it.
Yeah.
All right. So summary. Okay. The book of Joel is basically a prophetic mic drop filled with divine announcements about locusts and judgment.
Okay.
His main message was the locusts are here. God is mad. You better shape up. And if you do, God will sort out your enemies. The end.
I see.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's what we are about today as we step into chapter 1 of Joel Jeff. Okay?
Yes.
The word of the Lord that came to Joel, son of Pethuel.
Pethuel. Yeah.
Who's very proud.
Apparently.
I mean,
that's what I hear.
That's all we know about him.
Right.
He's got a kid.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Hear this, ya elders. Listen, all who live in the fucking land.
Okay. Yeah.
Listen up. Mm-hmm. Has anything like this ever happened in your days or in the days of your ancestors? Pick me. The answer is yes, they have had locusts before.
Right. I mean, I was assuming we were talking about locusts back in, Moses and
that's
in
what
Egypt,
I'm saying.
So
yeah. Yes, the answer to your question, Joel, is yes.
Right.
Okay. Tell it to your children and let your children tell it to their children and their children to the next generation. Do you think that happened?
I mean, we're still reading about it, so possibly, yeah.
What the locust swarm has left, the great locusts have eaten. Okay, let me explain that a little bit.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So there's different words. There's 4 different types of locusts described in these passages.
Okay.
And it's thought that it's different stages of a locust from larva through adulthood. So there's like, the little ones and then the hoppers and then the munchy munches and then the mating and then the death. Okay. Right. So when they say what the locust swarm has left, the great locusts have eaten. Okay. So it's different
stages.
Different stages of the same bugs.
I got it.
What the great locusts have left, the young locusts have eaten. And what the young locusts have left, other locusts have eaten.
Okay. So the locusts are eating everything.
Yeah, all stages.
Fuckers are eating it all.
It's a swarm. There's all different stages of these things, and they're all eaten.
Goddamn locusts, yeah.
Wake up, ye drunkards, and weep. Wail, all you drinkers of wine. Wail because of the new wine, for it has been snatched from your lips. So what's happening is that there ain't going to be no more wine.
Right, because the locusts ate the fucking crop.
So he's like, dudes, you ain't going to have no wine. Yeah. So it behooves you to listen up.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
See how this hits you personally?
Yeah.
You drinkers?
You won't be able to drink anymore.
Yeah. A nation has invaded my land. And this is where the question comes, wait.
Is it a nation or a locust?
Right. Like, is this a metaphor? Are the locusts a metaphor? Or was there an actual nation? Or were they both happening at the same time?
Right.
Nobody knows.
Sure.
A nation has invaded my land, a mighty army without number. It has the teeth of a lion, the fangs of a lioness. It has laid waste my vines and ruined my fig trees. It has stripped off their bark and thrown it away, leaving their branches white. Mourn like a virgin in sackcloth, grieving for the betrothed of her youth. Grain offerings and drink offerings are cut off from the house of the Lord. The priests are in mourning, those who minister before the Lord.
This sounds more like, I mean, okay, look, I know you said nation, but he's mentioning drink a lot, and he's mentioning drunkards a lot, and he's mentioning locusts a lot, right? So it feels more like a comment on the state of agriculture more than it does about the state of God and punishment.
Yeah.
But it's just worded in that old style God speak type stuff.
We're going to get to that, though.
Okay.
So right now he's telling us about the locust. This is what God's pissed about here. Let me tell you about these here locusts.
Sure,
okay?
but everything that went bad back then was because God deemed it so or whatever, right?
But he is going to start talking more God stuff.
Okay.
Right. We're just not there yet.
Yeah.
The fields are ruined. The ground is dried up. The grain is destroyed. The new wine is dried up. The olive oil fails. You know, how many different ways can I say the locusts are out there eating all the shit?
Right.
Okay. Despair, you farmers. Wail, you vine growers. Grieve for the wheat and the barley, because the harvest of the field is destroyed. The vine is dried up and the fig tree is withered. The pomegranate, not the pomegranate.
Pomegranates, man.
The palm and the apple tree, all the trees of the field are dried up.
And the green grass doesn't grow all around and around.
It doesn't.
No.
I'm so sad about the pomegranate.
Because the locusts ate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Surely the people's joy is withered away. Don't call me Shirley. Put on sackcloth, ye priests, and mourn. Wail. I'm wailing.
My wife is headbanging.
I was wailing. You know?
Okay.
You who minister before the altar, come, spend the night in sackcloth, you who minister before my God, for the grain offerings and drink offerings are withheld from the house of your God.
I feel like this guy is really going to miss his wine.
Well,
he seems to very much care about the wine crop.
He does, but it's not just for the drinking, though. Like, what he was just talking about was the offerings. We can't even give our offerings to God.
Sure.
Like, he's saying that it's going to suck for you personally because you can't drink, but it's even going to suck more because, or it should bother you more that on top of not being able to drink,
we won't be able to worship God correctly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's trying to like hit him where it hurts and then hit him where it should hurt.
But what's interesting, though, is that he's saying that we aren't going to be able to do these things. He's not, right now at least, he's not bringing up their past grievances that caused this yet.
But he will.
Okay.
All
right.
Declare a holy fast. Call a sacred assembly. This shit's an emergency, y'all. Okay? Summon the elders and all who live in the land to the house of the Lord your God and cry out to the Lord. Alas for that day, for the day of the Lord is near. The day of the Lord.
Yeah.
It will come like destruction from the Almighty.
The end is nigh.
Yeah. The end is motherfucking nigh.
Right.
That's what they wrote on the walls of the church in the movie 28 Days Later.
Yeah.
The end is fucking nigh. And I was like, oh, the first time I saw that movie and he walked into that church and there was all those dead people and I was like, get out.
Yeah.
Like, no. I know he didn't know yet that there were zombies.
Right.
But do not go into a building
where there's a lot of dead people.
There's a lot of dead people.
Yeah.
You see dead people, you get out.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's just a given because there might be zombies.
Sure.
I've seen too many movies. But let me just ask you this, though. You walk into a building and there's a bunch of dead bodies.
I'm leaving.
Even though it's a church.
Yeah.
Because church is
probably especially because it's church.
Right? Like, I mean, like, in an emergency, you might expect that a lot of people would think that they would find safety in a church.
Sure.
So I don't begrudge the dude for going there.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But once he walked in and he saw all those dead people, and my God, it must have stunk to high heaven.
Right.
And he saw in blood that it was written, the end is fucking nigh.
Yeah, you leave.
I'm out. I'm done. Yeah. Sorry. No. Okay. Has not the food been cut off before our very eyes? Joy and gladness from the house of our God?
I mean, apparently, yeah.
Sure.
It has.
Sure. The seeds are shriveled beneath the clods. The storehouses are in ruins. The granaries have been broken down, for the grain is dried up.
No.
It is. It's gone.
All right.
Ah, how the cattle moan. They moan. Did you hear them?
Yeah. Well, I mean, their food's gone.
Yeah.
So.
The herds mill about because they have no pasture. Even the flocks of sheep are suffering. Bah!
Yeah.
To you, Lord, I call, for fire has devoured the pastures in the wilderness, and flames have burned up all the trees of the field.
And that's because of the drought.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Even the wild animals pant for you. The streams of water have dried up, and fire has devoured the pastures in the wilderness. The end.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So that's pretty dramatic. First chapter, right?
Right. But so I do want to mention that throughout this entire chapter, there was no past grievances brought up.
No.
Right.
No.
Okay. But when you read the intro to this book, you said that the only one that they really, like, a lot of people think that the only book that might have really been written by Joel was this one. And this seems more like a comment on what is happening currently.
Right. Like, he didn't really say God's out to get us.
Right.
He's just like, dudes, hey, there's a fucking locust and a drought and
woe is us.
It sucks.
Yeah, we should probably ask God for help and stuff. Like,
Right.
hey, let's get on this, guys. I want some fucking wine. We need wine for offerings at the very least.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So this is what Joel wrote. He wrote, this is more based on how they saw things back then. I feel still like this is just an agricultural comment.
Yeah.
Right? The locusts fucking suck. God needs to help us get beyond this, and we don't even have anything to give them. We're all fucked.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of how this feels. It doesn't feel like your normal prophet.
Right.
This just feels like a comment.
It's almost like we found, like, we, quote unquote, modern history, you know, starting in like what, the 1700s with the Enlightenment. Sure. Found like a diary.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's what it felt like a little
And they
bit.
were like, this dates back to around that time period based on the paper and where we found it. Let's staple that into the Bible.
Right. Well, it is a good intro into what could be more apocalyptic, right? And the Bible eventually ended up being very apocalyptic.
Right.
And much of that was added on to after the fact at some points during, you know, the Babylonian exiles and different places where they were in dire straits, right? So someone probably knew this story or found this story, and they're like, hey, this makes a perfect intro into like a metaphor for this disaster, that disaster, whatever.
Day of the Lord.
Let's write a couple extra chapters, huh?
Yeah.
And make this a thing.
And then later on, a bunch of screen room writers were like, Day of the Lord, what if we wrote the Day of the Doctor? And that's how
You think that's how that happened?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
One led to the other.
Yep.
Thank you, God, for the Day of the Doctor. The end.
And I do want to say this too. Like, I was actually having a conversation with a cousin of mine about religion and how, you know, he didn't know, or he knows so much about current literature and the ideas that kind of make their way through the threads of literature. And it helped him tremendously in college and different places because he understood those references, because he did grow up religious. He's no longer religious, but he grew up religious and understood those threads, right? I am learning a lot of things as we go through the Bible that I didn't fully understand reading them or just like in general concept of seeing society talk about certain things. I didn't understand where these themes were coming from.
Right.
So it's interesting kind of learning these things as we go along. But
yeah. I actually have a completely off topic, but kind of somewhat related in analogy. Like, it reminded me of this. So I've been listening to this podcast called Rachel Maddow Presents Ultra.
okay.
And it's this story of all of this. If you took out the names and dates and just left it blank, I swear to God, it sounds like stuff that's happening today.
Yeah.
And it's about an early Nazi movement who had infiltrated our government, was using taxpayer dollars to send out Nazi propaganda to Americans.
Yeah.
And it was like just condoned like by so many of the people in the Senate and Congress and like a lot of people knew about it.
Yeah.
And I highly recommend giving this a listen because it will shock you.
Yeah.
That these things, like, they're not taught in history class. That this has happened before. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, there was the guy that it's known as the Lindenberg baby, but Charles Lindenberg was actually
It's Lindbergh.
Lindbergh. I'm sorry. He ran for president, I believe.
Okay.
And he was a very big supporter of the Nazi Party, essentially. Like, and he was part of that whole movement of, you know, propaganda that was going on back then, when Hitler was coming to power and all that. And before, you know, there was a time in history where we hadn't picked a side.
Yeah.
We didn't know which way the political wind was going to go.
It just astounds me that is not something you know unless you're interested in learning about history or you listen to a program that tells you about it.
Those who don't know are doomed to repeat history. You know, we're doomed to repeat it, right? If you don't study, if you don't learn, if you don't understand what you came from, you are doomed to repeat it. It
just, like, it shocked and appalled me because I had no idea, like, to think that, oh my God, there's Nazis walking around America right now. That's crazy. That's never happened before. And it's like, oh, no, actually.
Yeah.
Actually, they were in government before.
Right.
And quite happily so.
Yeah.
So
no, it was quite a time.
So that analogy, though, attributing something different to history, like us reading about this guy's diary and not knowing who wrote it or why or when or whatever.
Right, yeah.
And, dude was probably just recording his history of what was happening at the time. And then somebody else picked it up and added shit to it.
Sure.
And made it into a doomsday thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It just reminded me of that whole thing. I guess it's not really related at all.
No, that's right. We go off the rails all the time. So
yeah, well,
whatever. I
highly recommend. It's a very well scripted, so it's not like her just like
it's not like us.
No, and and it's not like her news where she like sits behind the desk.
Sure.
Like she kind of is off the cuff a bit there, and that can be annoying to many people.
Sure.
So I'm just saying it's a very well scripted, very well told story, and I highly recommend it.
Yep.
But that's it for Jeff.
Okay, Joel.
Jolie Jeff.
Yeah. Anyway, that was Joel chapter 1.
Sure as fuck was.
Which means that we'll be back tomorrow with
Joel chapter 2.
All right, we'll see you then.
Bye.
Hey, wife, I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my God. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep, we have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegiousdiscourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast. Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe. Leave an Apple review. Join us on Twitter. Support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.